This audio is being recorded from my camera's built-in microphone. As you can tell, it's pretty terrible, and yours probably is too. Today we're going to be going over 3 types of microphones and why you need each one for different scenarios for content creation. Let's start off with the first one.
I came to a local park here. I've got my 50mm lens, so I have to stay a bit distance away from the camera. And we've got birds, we've got planes, we've got cars, tennis players. I'm gonna try to keep it neutral, speaking at a normal tone, like I would speak to somebody who was as far away from me as the camera is. First off, we have the wireless microphones. This one in particular is the DJI microphone. Obviously, there are a lot of advantages to having a wireless microphone because you can be pretty much as far away from the camera as you want and talk normally, the mic will pick it up. So without further ado, one of the advantages to these wireless microphones is that I could be 6 feet away, or it could be 60 feet away, and or I could be 60 feet away. And that's one of the biggest advantages of these microphones, that you can be way farther out than normal for normal videos, and you can still pick up a lot of great audio. You know, the microphone is right on my shirt, so audio quality should be the same, speaking at the same tone, same level, everything should be the same. I could be way out here and camera should still be picking up exactly the same quality audio as though I were just a couple of feet away from the camera. You can connect an additional microphone onto this transmitter and collect even higher quality audio if you wish. And yeah, so this is the pros of this microphone. Some situations that you might want to use this in are in, for example, if you have to do something, if you're doing some recording from really far away, obviously this is going to be your best bet. Now, the biggest cons when it comes to these wireless microphones is that, first of all, they're going to be visible. You know, you're going to have them clipped onto someone's shirt. If you get the DJI mic, you can use an external microphone and use this only as a transmitter, have it hooked onto, say, under the person's shirt, behind their back, that kind of stuff. But then you're going to have that microphone wire going up and clipped onto the top of their shirt. Or, you know, you could try to hide it underneath the shirt, but then you run the risk of picking up any type of rustling from the shirt, rubbing against the person's chest, rubbing against the microphone, that kind of stuff. So that's really the biggest con, I would say, to these microphones, especially if you have the wind cover on it, the windscreen on it. It becomes a lot harder to conceal them. Now let's move on to the next type of microphone and see what kind of audio it can pick up. Up next, we've got shotgun microphones. These microphones are highly directional, and they're usually used for vlogging and stuff. They're also used on the ends of sticks as like boom microphones. I'm trying to keep my voice consistent to the same volume that I was speaking with for the wireless microphones, the DJI mics. And this microphone, I suspect, will have a bit of a harder time picking it up just because of the distance. They are highly directional, so it should be doing a decent job at blocking out some of the, the car sounds, the airplanes above. But unfortunately, at this distance with a 50mm lens, it's going to be a little more difficult to use something like this unless I'm speaking very loud. This microphone also usually is used with a windscreen. I currently have it off, so I'm going to be repeating the same audio levels again in a little bit, but with the windscreen, see how that compares. Alright, I've got the windscreen back on it, and I'm speaking at a lower level again, back to the original level. These microphones typically are used with booms because they are very directional, so if you can afford to have the microphone above out of frame so that they're not seen within the video but on like a boomstick, this would be great because you can record only the audio that you're directly pointing at without having to worry about picking up side audio. Again, one of the biggest disadvantages to these microphones is that you do typically have to be a little bit closer. Now, if I'm standing at around this distance, this is still a little bit out of hand reach, but close enough. And I speak at a little bit of a higher volume. This would definitely be good for vlogging. The disadvantage of this is that, it does have to be close by. It's not a wireless microphone, so you do have to be relatively close to the camera. I'm standing right now about 6 to 7 feet away from the camera, and I'm trying to speak at like a typical conversational volume. Right now we've got a plane passing by overhead, so this will be a good test to compare. We've got a smaller lens, something like a 24mm lens, or a little bit lower. It's great for that. Before we talk about the third type of microphone, I just wanted to take a quick second and go indoors so we can see how these microphones perform indoors without the additional wind, airplanes, whatever noise. Now, I do live pretty close to a street, a pretty busy street, so there might be some of that with these microphones. Currently, I'm using the Rode VideoMic NTG. As you'll notice, this mic, I believe, picks up quite a bit of the autofocus sound that comes from my camera. I'm shooting on a Nikon Z7, and when you have it in full-time autofocus, or AFF, it does continually make some clicking sounds, and this microphone tends to pick them up a lot since it's directly mounted on the camera. I'll give you an example of this right now. I'll move my hand closer, and while the camera tries to focus,
you'll probably be able to pick up on those sounds. Now I'll go ahead and try the same thing with the DJI microphone, and that will be mounted on me, so that'll be a little bit further away, and we'll see how that performs. Alright, so I've gone ahead and switched the microphone to the DJI wireless microphone. Again, I live pretty close to a busy road, so you might hear some of the cars behind. You might also hear the camera auto-focusing, so let me move my hand closer and we'll see if the microphone picks it up. Honestly, this has been the microphone that I've been using the most recently, but without further ado, I'll go ahead and show you guys what the third type of microphone is and why I decided to move indoors for this next part. Alright, and lastly we have the standing or vocal or studio microphone. Kind of grouping these all together because if you're doing any sort of podcasting or videos like this where you're just talking into the microphone to the camera, they all pretty much do the same job. There's not too much of a difference, just, you know, as you get into higher price points, of course, you're going to have slightly larger diaphragms, more precise audio. You'll be able to pick apart the audio waveform a lot better, things like that. But for this type of thing, if you're just, you know, doing, say, reaction videos or podcasting, it's not the biggest deal. So what you're listening to right now is, of course, my unedited voice on a Rode NT1. It's a great standing microphone, great for music production, great for, you know, just talking into a microphone. I used it when I was making stuff on FL Studio. I love this microphone. It's great performance. Not the most expensive either. I think this one was around $249. Just checked, it's $269. Still not the biggest, not the most expensive microphone in the world. Great quality for that price as well. So should you get this type of microphone? Well, if your content is going to be primarily you just sitting at your desk or recording these types of videos, if you're going to do any type of music production or high quality audio production, then yeah, you should get one of these mics. However, keep in mind that when you get one of these mics, they have an XLR connection. That's the type of cable that connects them, plugs into them down here on the bottom, and that's going to require a couple extra things, a couple extra accessories. You're going to need obviously the mic stand, a pop filter if you want to cover those. You're going to need an audio interface to be able to connect the microphone to your computer. Just a couple accessories here and there that, you know, it can definitely add up. My audio interface was a Scarlett Solo, ended up costing me, I think, around $100. So definitely the price can add up when you go for one of these microphones, but the audio quality, if you need high quality audio, this is definitely the way to go. Overall, if you couldn't already tell, the type of microphone that you should get is very dependent on what types of videos you're going to be filming. Again, to recap, if you're going to be doing vlogging, or anything where you're going to be quickly on the go, then having the Rode VideoMic NTG is a great option because it's just mounted directly onto your camera. You can hold it at arm's length and do selfie videos, those kinds of things. It's a great option, especially if you're going to be at a consistent distance, so you don't have to worry about the camera autofocusing consistently. If you're going to be doing anything where you need a good distance away from your lens, then you should definitely get the wireless microphone, like the DJI wireless mic. That will definitely allow you to be a good distance away and still pick up high quality audio coming directly straight, you know, a few inches from your mouth. And lastly, if you're going to be doing primarily just videos like this, just talking into a mic at your desk, reviews, reaction videos, anything of the sort, or any type of audio production, then getting one of these mics with being able to really dive into those waveforms and picking up the details in your voice, all the different frequencies, would be definitely important. Something like the Rode NT1 is a great option for that. Keep in mind that, you know, the more high quality you want, obviously the more expensive the microphones are going to be. One last thing for you guys, if you want to pick up any of these microphones, I have them all linked in the description. I've got a couple other links in there too, some of my camera gear, some software that I use. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to, you know, check those out. And if you want to see a fairy photo shoot in the rainforest, go ahead and click up here to watch that video. Thanks.